Hey friend, I've spent the last few months working endlessly on my art roleplay game. Most people that I've talked to about this haven't even heard of them before, so I thought it'd be fun to make a video about it. And I'm gonna do a series of videos exploring the game that I'm building, basically going over every website page and trying to answer as many of the questions as I can that I've been getting from the people who jumped into my Discord. So let's get right into it. An art roleplay game is a game for artists of all mediums. And basically what happens is when you make art of any kind, you're getting points for it, and the more you do, the more points you get. The game has progression options such as creating a new character or editing an existing character, and you can use the points that you've earned to do those kinds of things. So, say you create a character in this world and you've played a bit of the story with it, because there are multiple story prompt points, and you've decided you would like to create another character. Well, since you've been playing with your existing character, they've probably been building up that score, which you can then take that point score and spend it like it's a currency. Their points are a currency, essentially. There's also lifetime amounts for some lifetime goals you can also shoot for. So, art roleplay games gamify art, which has pros and cons. I did a paper on that back for my college writing class. What I found, I had about 20 of my friends who played a art roleplay game I was participating in the past, and I had them answer a survey about basically a bunch of questions about how getting points as a reward for making art affected what kind of art they made and their relationship to art. A lot of people were inspired to do more than they initially would. Like, a lot of folks reported learning how to draw backgrounds. The points system encouraged them to do the difficult tasks more often, and so they built up some really good skills. The one that I played encouraged me to draw plants a lot, and I used to hate drawing plants, and I figured out a method that I like, and now I love drawing plants. But there were also people who are really motivated by points found that they sometimes wouldn't want to make art that wasn't scoring them. So overall, I think it's really fun, and when you've got an art roleplay game, it creates a community of people who are playing it, and all of your characters exist in the world that you're playing in. So when you're writing your character's story, there's opportunity to intertwine it with other people's character's story. And I've made a lot of friends. Like, most of my online friends today, I built through art roleplay games. It also can help if you are a smaller artist to get people to actually see your art, and it opens up art trades. If you want to, I'll draw your character, you draw my character. Create doorways for a community. There's a lot of awesome points to art roleplay games, and I'm so excited to be building one. So my art roleplay game is called Rootlings, and this will be kind of the introductory video to the Rootlings website. I'm thinking of doing a series. We can go over each page one by one and try to keep these to maybe 15 to 30-minute videos. I am pretty new to YouTube and video making as a whole, so I'm just getting my bearings. So I'm also new to editing videos. I'm not exactly sure how it all works, so we'll do our best here. Rootlings, the Arcadian Flame Bearers. A game where players make art from all mediums within a fantasy world. Rootlings has a place for both lighthearted whimsy and dark, moody stories. It serves as a safe space for processing harsh emotions through fictional characters. For this reason, we are a 17+ community. A lot of the players who are helping me jumpstart the Rootlings game want to have creative freedom with their stories, and they want to be able to explore darker topics if they want to. And we were worried that that might be hard to regulate to keep it lighthearted enough for younger viewers. So we decided to only allow Rootlings to people who are of the age 17 or older, just to make sure that the people who are joining are not going to be exposed to those darker themes if they're maybe not ready for it. Also, I just wanted to have this warning here, because there are some people who are older than 17 who maybe can't handle darker stories and darker themes, and we talked about having a channel or a gallery that was kind of locked behind a disclaimer to protect people who don't want to see darker topics. But at the end of the day, we decided it would be best to just have that right up front and try to make sure everybody is aware before they jump in. So, if you are over the age of 17, the invitation is open to you. Rootlings are animalistic nature spirits who guard and wield the sacred magic of the Ancient Ones. The Ancient Ones are the Elden Roots, who are basically the deities of their world. As the story goes, when this fantasy version of Earth was created, the Elden Roots appeared with it. So, for example, there's an Elden Root for like snowy cold lands and an Elden Root for dry hot lands, maybe deserts of different types. And they basically represent like the different landscapes of Earth. We'll talk more about Elden Roots in an Elden Root specific video, but they are the NPCs, and that's what you need to know right now. The humans call these creatures the Arcadian Flame Bearers, but amongst themselves, they are called Rootlings. They are the only magical creatures in their world, and this is at the heart of their very being, for that is how they are made. Their bodies are thoughtfully garden shells for the stewarded power within. Crowned with Lumesi at the time of their birth, Rootlings were made to be masters of the elements. So you've essentially got an animalistic nature spirit that's filled with magic, and in this world, their magic is called Lumesi, meaning the existence of light. It condensed within their body, it can appear like rippling water. If you are doing a translucent creature design, which we'll get more into creature designs later. Basically, we've got humans, we've got rootlings, and we have all of the flora and fauna that was alive during around the medieval time, but it's medieval fantasy, so we've got a little wiggle room there. So following the website to the beginner's guide, which there will be a link to both the website and the Discord in the description if you would like to check this out or follow along. Rootlings and their world, guarding the sacred magic. The Rootling Art Roleplay Game rewards players with points for being creators of art. This is a game for people who are making the art from their own creative process, not including AI. We don't permit the use of AI at all in our game. This is just for human artists. Lumesi points will allow your characters to progress through the game. This art roleplay game is built for encouraging creative freedom and the development of friendships within a community of artists. We will do a little bit of touching onto what a rootling is, and then I'm going to dive into a design video later. But essentially, a rootling is a combination of animals, and there are two major rules as to what makes a rootling a rootling. So in building this game, I was thinking, how do I create the most freedom of design possible while still having the species be recognizable as a group that belongs together? Because in a lot of closed species where an artist creates a species and then other players can obtain characters of that species, they can be pretty restricted and they generally have the same body type going on. But I wanted Rootlings to have potential for things like way outside of my imagination. I want people to show up, bring something completely new and unheard of, and do it in a way that makes them happy, and then, bam, they're in the game. I want it to be as open to creative freedoms as I possibly can. So I was like, what do I do to have them all look like the same and yet be so vastly different? And what I decided on is the eyes are the feature that ties them all together. The rootling eye has a few specific characteristics. Generally, a swooping shape is the classic one. You've got a swooping eye shape with a divot off the top. But these can be wider and rounder, so you can have more of a circular shape if you'd like, as long as it has points on either end of it. And white or just markings that are lighter than the surrounding area that contrast with the face. And if your rootling has a white body, you can just use a outline, perhaps imagined as a thin gray strip of color that sets apart the eye marking from the rest of the face, so you can see that it's there. But basically, the rootling's eye is their main determining factor, and the second thing is the display of their magic. They can choose if they would like to display it or not. It's not required, but when it is displayed, it appears as a flame. And then over time, as they build up lifetime Lumesi points, more and more flames will be able to be displayed. That becomes kind of a marker of, oh, this character has been around for a while longer. So yeah, there's multiple ways to obtain a character. For first-time players, you'll be working with a coordination, and that just means you get to take two animals from the same ecosystem and combine them into a character that you come up with. Rootlings are two or more real animals and creating something new from them. There are so many ways to combine them, and we'll talk about that later. It's a magical nature creature, and it's got so much story potential. I hope that you love them as much as I do, and that if you decide to come and play with us, that you will enjoy it. And if you've got any questions, there is a questions and concerns or ideas and feedback channel in the Discord that I would be happy to address. To sum up what we went over, an art roleplay game is a game for artists where your character that you've made that exists in the world follows a set of prompts to earn points through art. The mediums you can use are limitless as long as you are not using AI. You can do interpretive dance for all I care, wood carving, ceramics, needle felting, acrylics, watercolor, digital art, animation, writing, whatever you love. Photography, if you create a model of your character and you take it out and you're taking photos of your model, like, you can do whatever you want without using AI. The art, you can submit it anywhere so long as staff can access it without making an account. And there is a way to track those points, which I will explain in a video. That's going to take a whole conversation on its own to talk about tracking points. It's a little involved, but once you've got the hang of it, it's easy to grasp. And a lot of the players in the community would be happy to help you learn how to use a tracker. We have a pre-made tracker ready for you to copy and paste into your own Google Drive, basically. It's just learning how to fill it out with information and use the calculator. Designing and playing a character within a community in a fantasy world, earning points for what you make. I hope that you'll join us because it's gonna be a lot of fun and it's brand new. So I think that we have 50 members right now, but I could be mistaken. So I am gonna move right along to the design video, and I hope I'll see you there.